Welcome
Yay!
to Flak. We're here.
Sorry about seeing just a little tiny glimpse of us and then the music set. And we're still not quite used to doing that.
I think they're used to us. Okay. We're we're doing more of the same, but we're going to change things up a little as we go on. We're doing some promotion and other things like that. So you're going to be seeing some improvements of what's here already. So today we're going to discuss.
And we're going to.
Go ahead. Oh, my brother has frozen.
Okay, I don't know what's going on. We're having some kind of internet problem over here.
Right.
But anyway, we're going to talk about shows that have a paranormal leaning to them.
Yeah.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And
and this week it's going to be Rings of Power, which is the Lord of the Rings prequel that is currently playing on Amazon Prime.
yes.
It's going to be a 5-year loop. So it's not going to be a 1-season show. It's going to be 5 seasons. So they're gradually going to go to the point where they have the war with all the clans and the orcs and so forth.
Yeah. Well, that at least keeps us certain that we won't be left floating on an iceberg with 1 season and nothing else. And that's happens too often with the streaming shows.
But a lot of the shows, like Firefly,
Yeah,
that was really disappointing. I mean, you had 13 episodes of Firefly, and that was it. Then they had a movie, and the movie kills off like a third of the cast, and then one of them died for real. Ron Glass,
yeah,
the guy that used to be on Barney Miller.
yeah.
Well, he died.
He was an older fellow, so
he died for real.
Right now we're going through that with the Orville in their 3rd season, which has been just amazing. Now we're waiting to see if there's going to be a 4th season. So I'm very glad.
I watched season 1, and that was it.
Yeah, season 2 got a lot better, and season 3 was spectacular. So I highly recommend it. But
now, have they decided whether it's supposed to be funny or serious?
It's serious with a humorous feel to it. They've gone much further into a serious science fiction show, and the special effects are magnificent, and they've done things that are just amazing, really. Um,
Well,
that
it's gonna finish no matter what because Seth MacFarlane said himself that if it didn't finish, he would pay to finish it. So
Is it
Yeah.
mine?
yes, we have a comment.
Yes, I see. Richard is fine. He's doing well. The comment was, "How is Richard Halpern doing?" He's quite well. Uh, he is not at all connected to this show except for having been a guest one time. But and he's a friend. So
What does the comment say?
Can
it
you read?
asks,
No.
You can read the first and second word.
And it's too small. How is
Richard.
What?
Richard
who's Richard?
Halpern doing? Georgia wanted to know what the comment said.
yes, that's what it was. Anyway, to get back to shows and that sort of thing, I'm very glad to see this new trend toward committing for 5 years to a series, because there've been way too many shows like forever on broadcast TV that we had one great season and then nothing.
What did you say, Georgia?
I'm gonna go surprise Connor. I'll be right back.
Be nice to him. I'm back. What'd you say?
I said it's nice to see this trend toward committing to 5 years of a television series, or
Well,
streaming series.
you know who originated the 5-year loop, right? It was
I've
Michael. It was Michael Straczynski with
Oh,
Babylon 5.
yeah. Well,
And
I know.
he fought tooth and nail to get those 5 seasons.
Yeah. Well, it's the only way you can do it. I mean, first of all, you can't even do a package deal with syndication without 5 seasons, and you have to have a block of content to. Oh, at least that's the way it was a few years ago. I have a note.
Well, what's different now, however, is that back in the 70s and 80s, television shows standard season was 26 episodes.
Yeah.
Nowadays, on streaming services, 8, 10, 12 episodes are considered a full season.
Yeah, I know. And, that's how are you supposed to put together anything in way of a, it has to be some kind of a streaming channel in order to do that. However, it does make an investment in a series a lot less expensive. And they're able to greenlight a lot of things that would never have seen the light of day.
Well, they're all filming on these virtual sound stages now.
Yeah.
Like the Mandalorian was filmed on. I don't know how much you've seen of that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's amazing. But these sound stages cost millions of dollars to construct.
Yeah.
These things are, but it'll save them millions of dollars because it costs $1 million. It costs, probably $4 or $5 million to build it, but they only have to build it once. And then they have to spend the money to maintain it, maintain things. And, but it's amazing. It'll look like they're filming out in the frozen tundra and they're really in Burbank.
Yeah. Well, we saw that with that film Fall, it now, admittedly, they did build 100-foot tower that they somehow convinced these two young actresses to climb up. And now they did have harnesses and protective gear, but how they got them to do that, I have no idea. It's terrifying just to consider. But they did a lot of virtual work.
I
So
got a
that,
cookie.
good for you.
We have some McDonald's cookies left over from yesterday.
Oh.
She's having one.
So
I'm sorry, Georgia. I had to start using the headphones because we were getting bad audio. Can I unplug these and see how our audio sounds?
Of course. Yes, of course.
How's that? Is it
The
any
same.
worse?
No,
Okay.
it's the
Let me
same.
plug in the speaker so I can hear you better. Sorry, folks. We're doing technical stuff here. Okay.
We were up to 3 viewers.
We have people watching.
We do.
Amazing.
I
Hey, we're
know.
going to make it worth your while. Why don't I show them the trailer?
Go for it.
Okay, I've got a trailer here for the Rings of Power, which is the show we watched this week, so we can talk to you about it. Hello,
About the evolution of the
this is
ring.
Georgia back here. She is my granddaughter, and she is participating in the show this week.
Yes, she is.
Wow.
My brother gave his life hunting the enemy. His task is now mine.
Speak your truth. You already know.
Stand with me. Ours was no chance meeting.
Search your mind.
Not fate,
It's written in gold.
nor destiny. Ours was the work of something greater.
Don't say no. Let it all fall out. Come on, take the ride.
Give me one.
Each of us, every one, must decide who we shall be.
Still your mind.
I am not the hero you seek.
The oceans below.
Whatever it was you did, brave it.
One day this will be your kingdom.
Raise your sail. And then let go.
Choose not the path of fear, but that of faith.
One thing we can do, better than any creature in all Middle-earth, we stay true to each other, with our hearts even bigger in our feet.
We can survive this. You and I.
Commander! Wait! No! We keep moving!
Why do you keep fighting?
There is a tempest in me.
You have fought long enough, Galadriel. Put up your sword.
Without it, what am I to be?
Well, that previews makes it look a little better than it really does.
Yeah.
I gotta say.
Well, it's about the evolution of the rings, right? Essentially. the
Well,
development.
from what I understand, this is going to be a 5-year loop. So we're just seeing the first season of it. We're up to episode 7 right now. I'm not sure how many. Most of these streaming shows have 12, 13 episodes, some as few as 8. Since we're up to episode 7, I think it's going to go more than 8, but we'll see.
Yeah.
And
Well,
supposedly, the last episode is where the guy makes the rings.
Ah.
So this is a prequel to Lord of the Rings, because I know they're calling it Rings of Power, but there's no rings yet. The rings don't come in till later.
the rings are forming.
Right. They're
Yeah.
getting the ideas of making the rings.
Well, the good on them. Hopefully that will happen. I must admit, I have never seen a Lord of the Rings movie, nor a Hobbit movie.
Can you believe that, folks? She's never seen Lord of the Rings. That's a really good series of movies. It
I
really
know
is.
My friend Lisa, who has been a guest on here, and her nephew Avi, who used to be with Pentatonics, the whole family loves Lord of the Rings. It's like, and The Hobbit and all. But I read, did you hear that voice? That was odd. Okay.
Are you sure it's not just you? Are you
Probably.
hearing? Are you
Yeah.
hearing voices, Melody?
Yes.
It was me.
Oh, okay. Good.
Might have been Georgia. She said something.
Okay, good. I'm glad it was Georgia. That means Aunt Melody's not losing it yet. Now, the what was I saying? I totally. Oh, I read in college. I read Tolkien, and I was sort of put off by it. So I think that's part of it. Some of it has to be that a lot of the actors in Lord of the Rings were teenage boys. And this was during the time I was raising a teenager. So it may be that I just didn't want to deal with teenagers. But I have no further theory beyond that. And I'm a big Martin Freeman fan. So I would normally have seen The Hobbit. But
Well,
I will attempt.
these are all basically unknown actors, most of them. They're people I'm not familiar with. There's one of the ladies who's the like queen of the humans, but she doesn't look like a queen. She looks like a peasant, and I'm pretty sure she played the detective on what shows I used to watch, like one of the CSI shows or one of those. I think she was on one of them.
Which it seems to be chiefly British actors, so it may be that they're well known in Great Britain, but less known over here.
I'm not positive, but I think this was filmed in New Zealand.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, most of them were filmed in New Zealand. What, Georgia? What?
Is
What?
this
What?
how you spell George? George?
GIA. George is with an E on the end, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said Georgia. What?
I'm gonna go send my pictures now.
Okay, sweetie.
All right, dear.
Happy autographing.
Happy Hanukkah.
Yeah.
All right, I was looking for something here. I don't know what I did with it. I had a list of all of the people that were on the show.
Well, of course you misplaced it.
Somehow
That's the kind of
Connor
thing you always
moved my
do.
thing in the background back there, so
Yeah.
I apologize if it's not covering the entire thing anymore. But
I don't even try now.
yeah, that looks okay.
Yeah, that's
Trying to see what I did with it. I had, like I say, I had a list of all of the people who were on the show. Excuse me. But anyway, it's a good show. I like
yeah.
it. I
I
plan on.
thought it was well done. I don't have enough of a
How could you? How could you tell? How could you tell through your eyelids?
I saw the first two. I just fell asleep during the third. And that was largely because I'd been up with my hip pain during the night. So
Ow.
the every once in a while, if I walk too much, then you know the
Yes, lovely.
the key element of the film seemed to be this notion of power and its place in society. At least that's my interpretation of it. And the loftier notion versus the human ones. And that's pretty Tolkien related. So the now you said that there are 7 episodes now?
Currently, the I think I forget what day of the week it is. It releases on. I think it's Friday, and they're up to episode 7 right now.
Oh, okay. That's good.
And 7 was really, I think, the best one.
As usual, the one I didn't see would be the best one.
Yeah, it started off a little slow. Episode 1 was a little slow. It's very similar to the Twin Towers movie,
Oh, yeah.
which you didn't see.
Which I didn't see.
It's kind of similar to that, the portion that we've seen so far.
Now, are the same creative people involved in it that made the movies?
All different people. It's written by a different person. It's what's the guy's name that did the one? Peter Jackson. Peter Jackson isn't involved at all, to the best of my knowledge.
Well, we must still give him credit for making Get Back.
Well, he's the one that resurrected it and made it kind of
what it
modernized
should have
it.
been. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a letter that emerged from the muck the other day that is McCartney's letter to Phil Spector that I thought was very interesting, where he basically said, yeah, take all that stuff off the song and stay the hell away from my music. So
now, one thing I liked of the new series, Bear McCreary did the music. I don't know if you're familiar with Bear McCreary.
I am vaguely familiar with him.
He did the music for Battlestar Galactica.
That's where I know it from. Okay.
And I think he also did some of the music for Mandalorian, I think. I think he had some involvement in that too.
Well, the digital people, if they're involved at one level, they tend to be used a lot. since it's a whole different skill set to deal with apps.
Melody, could you talk for about 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be back
I've
after
done
you
that
rest.
before. Okay. The that I saw what I saw of the series, I liked. I do think that some of the acting is a bit stilted, but that's probably because of inexperienced lesser players, and that tends to throw off the whole scene when you have people who don't really know how to hit a mark or how to deliver a line, how to formulate a performance. So I did like the writing. I thought the writing was strong. I thought the direction was strong. I thought the narrative line was a little weak, at least in the first and some of the second episodes. I didn't see it beyond about half of the third episode because, not having seen the Lord of the Rings films, I lacked a certain context for the film, for the series. But it is evident that there's the formation of the rings is an essential part of it, and of course the rings being the center of the entire universe, this universe, the Lord of the Rings universe. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see where it goes, and hopefully the second season will build on all of that. And after I see the Lord of the Rings, I'm going to rewatch the series, so it will inform that view a little better. I should also comment on the film I saw yesterday, which is called Fall. If you have a problem with heights, I do not recommend seeing it. It is truly terrifying. It frightened me more than any hacker slasher film. And the two young actresses in it are extraordinary, probably because they were genuinely terrified. They were up 100 feet on a tower, and they had, thankfully, a lot of protective gear that the characters in the film did not have. It is a very good film in terms of the internal life of the characters, and they are experiencing something important to them as people. And it also addresses this danger influencer nonsense going on the web. These people that take horrible chances and often end up either hurt or in one instance killed. So, influencer is a lovely title, but being a living, breathing creature is a better idea. And the 60,000 people who were her followers of the secondary character, who is the seminal mover and shaker of the film, not a single one of them helped. So that will tell you something. And better to have real friends and not take massive chances. Okay, mommy stopped lecturing to you. And however, it has a lot of interesting ideas behind it, and is also as frightening to me as any film I've seen lately. I have just seen most of the third season of the Orville, and I thought that was just amazing. It was just splendid. And I think it's evident that there needs to be a fourth and a fifth season. And the Disney has taken it on, and if you watch the Orville, be sure to watch it on the Disney app, if you can at all, because that's what lets Disney know people are watching, and it helps propel the series. God knows we all need to see Isaac get his. Of course, I found that about as unbelievable as most people did, but who cares? It was still cool to see. And Isaac and Claire, I think, is one of the more unusual couples ever on television. And that's one of the things I love about the streaming universe is the number of different people we're seeing now. We're seeing large actors and large actresses. We're seeing, every race imaginable. We're seeing a lot more Black people, thank God, and a lot of Native Americans and Asian people and Latino people and Encanto I love, and all of these series are, and Peter Dinklage, bless his heart, has emerged as an important actor, and it doesn't matter the size or the color or the creed or the sexual preference of the actor or actress. The essential thing is what they bring with their talent. And we have a lot of people bringing it. And that's just a wonderful, wonderful thing. And hello, Jessica. Yes, you saw the Austin Powers impersonator. That would be Richard Halpern. And he's quite good at that. He's also an actor. He has a lot of things he's done. So he is not just limited to that. He also has been a big mover and shaker in Dark Shadows fandom in recent years. I'm more of an old guard. I'm from the olden days. And somebody messaged me before. They were saying they wanted very much for me to discuss knowing Jonathan Frid. And this takes a turn because yesterday we learned of. Well, hello.
Hi.
We're back.
Yeah. Let me just finish my thought. And then,
Of course. I have a cookie.
There you go. We lost Ann Wilson yesterday, and Ann Wilson was a very important figure in the Super Channel years of Dark Shadows fandom when it started being distributed and seen. And Anne became a good friend to Jonathan Frid's and would constantly act like she didn't know anything. She didn't know where anything was. And of course, Jonathan said she knew where everything was.
People are watching.
She passed at the age of 91. And some of us with bad eyes thought it said 97, but she made it to 91 by gum. And she's the only person I've ever known who lived in, well, second person I've known who lived it. All right, third person I've known who lived in a mansion, and she lived in an absolute mansion, but was still one of the most down to earth and very grassroots type person. So, the good thoughts to Anne as she goes on to the great journey. And now, I was just discussing the film lift, or not lift, fall, and also the last season of the Orville, and also my take on the 2.5 episodes I saw of Rings of Power. I think that some of the weakness in the plot might have been due to the inexperience of some of the lesser actors. And you do get the feeling that there was a bit of frustration on the parts of the older actors, but that, you know, worked nicely into the plot.
Well, one thing I noticed is they had a little trouble with the scaling of the hobbits.
Yeah.
Because the hobbits had a human along with them. And you saw him, didn't you? The old man that was in the middle of the fire pit.
Yeah.
Well, he was supposed to be like twice as big, at least, as the humans.
Right.
And whenever they interacted together, like there was a scene where one of the hobbits hands him an apple.
Right.
And the apple was, they obviously used like one of those Fuji apples. It's real big.
Right.
When the hobbits were holding it to make it look, really big.
Yeah.
But when they handed it to the human, the hands were not that far different in size. So
I noticed that. Yeah.
They didn't want to make a maquette of the Hobbit that was light, tiny, or a human hand that was huge because the fingers had to move. That would have been a pretty expensive prop to build because there would have been robotics involved in it and so forth. So, yeah, this says we have problems. I don't know what's wrong, but
okay.
On the screen, it says your connection is unstable.
Well, too bad. I'm unstable and I'm here.
As long as people can hear us, our watchers keep bopping back and forth between 2 and 3. So I don't know if we're losing somebody because of the Wi-Fi connection or if because we're bad.
Probably a combination.
So you're going to be a movie star, Georgia? No. Georgia doesn't want to be a movie star. She wants her own podcast, though.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
I thought you said you wanted your own podcast. No. You just like me going to grab on Aunt Melody's podcast?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I want to be, when I grow up, a babysitter.
Well, I don't think you're going to make a lot of money doing that. But okay.
Yeah, professional babysitting is just not a growth field.
You can start a company.
No, I want to babysit.
Okay, then that's what you'll do.
Well, you could do what Mama does. Your mama is a nurse with babies. So maybe that.
Yeah.
Anyway, the series I thought has a lot of possibilities to it. I'll understand it better after I see Lord of the Rings, I think. And
Well,
it was
Very hard.
if you've watched
Stars.
Georgia, what are you doing?
What?
You see, I have a piece of cloth over the top of the trackpad on my laptop because I don't like trackpads. I like using a mouse. But
I hate
Microsoft got rid of the ability to turn your trackpad off. You can't turn your trackpad off anymore. The same way you can't choose the picture in your background on your computer anymore. Microsoft chooses it.
I tell you what, if there's any reason to get a Mac, it's that.
I chose my background for my computer.
Yeah, well, you can choose the background once you log on, but the screen that's there when you log on, you can't affect that picture. That picture is there.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Hey, love you too. That was hard.
Yay.
Bye, sweetie. Okay, I guess it's me. She gets bored sitting here after a while.
Oh, yeah.
We're not entertaining enough, which is probably why we don't have more people watching us.
Yeah,
but anyway. So, as far as a review is concerned, I'm sorry.
We've got more than we have in a while. So.
Good. So,
yes.
Well, maybe it's because we said we were going to review a movie or a series.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
That may be why we have more. But it does have, it's full of paranormal stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, ghouls and creatures from the underground. And then the guy, he doesn't like the orcs being called orcs. He wants them to be called orex. I guess like the vacuum cleaner.
Oh, okay.
My vacuum cleaner is an orek. O-R-E-K.
Maybe they evolved out of the orek.
And became vacuum cleaners.
There you go. I always wonder that about Daleks, you know? If Daleks didn't start out life as a Roomba.
Yeah, it's very possible. They had some of the weirdest looking aliens on that show.
Oh, yeah.
That series of episodes they had where they were these fat alien looking things that took over the world.
Yes.
I don't remember what they were called or anything, but they didn't spend a whole lot of money on FX on
not the old days, no. They didn't on Blake 7 either. And both of the series were great believers in the big rubber monster approach. But that's one good thing about the smaller series because of the huge leaps forward in technology, largely due to Lucasfilm and all of the work done on that. We've seen
we had
what's that?
We had some pretty bad special effects here back in like the 70s and 80s.
Oh yeah, of course.
Like Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. Remember now, Irwin Allen did Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea and Lost in Space.
Yeah.
So what they would take the alien that was on Lost in Space this week, they would cover it with seaweed, and it would be on Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea next week.
Yes. Yes.
And they had the carrot people.
Yeah.
Remember the carrot people?
I remember. Yeah. It's in the words of Seymour, our horror host, our local horror host.
He was great. This guy they got now, this Svengoolie, I'm gonna have to watch him. People say he's good. I haven't seen him.
I'm sorry. I'm loyal to Seymour.
Well, you know, there's only like one episode of Seymour in existence because they threw out all of his stuff.
They did a Gary Mahoney on him.
And yeah, that's what happened to him too. Now, his Seymour's daughters found one good quality thing of him where he was talking on the telephone to somebody, and it's pretty good. There's a couple of specials if you get on YouTube, and I think they're on Facebook too. That they're Seymour specials.
Yeah,
and they talk about his career. He was in quite a few movies.
Yeah,
the guy named Seymour. Larry Vincent is the fellow's name, by the way, in case you don't know.
Yeah.
And we lost him to cancer in his 60s.
Oh.
So
well,
I saw him in person once. You were, I don't know if you were there or not. I don't know if you were born yet, but Mom and Dad took me or us, I'm not sure which, to the Hollywood Christmas parade.
Oh, yeah, I was there. I remember.
Right off of the street, there was a parking lot there where they were doing this Toys for Tots thing.
Yes.
And Seymour was there, and so was Hobo Kelly.
Yeah, I remember.
And they were performing while people were donating toys to the Marines. They had a bunch of Marines there dressed in their dress blues. And they had all these cardboard drums that you put the toys in.
Right.
And Seymour come walking out. He did the old Dracula with the cape thing.
Yeah.
You know, and he talked to kids, and it was funny. And then what was her name? Baker. Last name's Baker. I think it was like Christine Baker or Sally Baker or something. That was who played Hobo Kelly. And she came out and did her HOBOKEWY. Hobo Kelly should be courtesy. Hey, how do you like that? I know the
world's worst Irish accent. Yeah. But yeah. She was great. I have good, that's one thing about growing up in Los Angeles. We had really talented children's hosts.
Oh yeah, Miss Mary Ann on Romper Room,
and Sheriff John and
Kelly, Bill,
Dapper Dan. What was her name? She was another witch. Daphne?
Oh yeah, well no, Daphne was on one of the TV series.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was HR Puffin stuff.
Well, that was Witchy Poo.
Witchy Poo. Oh, okay.
On HR Puffin stuff was Witchy Poo. Daphne was, I'm not sure, it might have been her own show. There was Engineer Bill.
Yep.
Who's that running down the track?
Yeah.
Who's that puppet? Who's the rattle? Now he's dead. Sheriff John's dead. Hobo Kelly's still alive, last I heard. Yeah. She's a doctor.
Yeah.
I think she's retired probably by now, but she moved to the Midwest and became a doctor.
Yeah, well, good for her.
It's funny what these people do when they retire. Like when Batman retired, he bought a ranch.
Yeah.
And his best friend moved in next door to him.
The Green Hornet. Yeah.
Yes, Bad Williams. He was the Green Hornet. He liked what Adam did, so he bought the ranch next door. So
he'd go out to they'd go out to sports bars. And drunks would walk up to him and look at him and go, wait, you can't be who I think you are. And they say,
right,
no, you drunk, go home.
Go do it. Connor, go play the Xbox. I have no objection. Connor wants to play the Xbox.
There you go. Have fun, Connor.
So I told
Good
him,
to
go
you.
right ahead.
I know somebody was asking about Dark Shadow stories, but here's one. The actress who played Angelique retired, and she became an English teacher at Santa Monica College. So she would have people come in for consultations about students, and they'd look at her and go, I know you from somewhere. So, that happens. But
So we only have 9 minutes, and we have never said yet. I would recommend you watch Rings of Power.
Yeah.
Melody hasn't seen enough of it to really.
I can't tell you one way or the other. I recommend that you see Fall.
You have to wait a little while, about 5 minutes.
And I recommend that you watch the third season of Orville and most of the second season, except for the episode where Claire makes it with the big blob of green stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was in the first season, wasn't it?
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
I thought.
Yeah.
Where the lady that used to play, what was she on?
She's been on a
Star
couple.
Trek.
She's quite a good actress.
Well, she was on Star Trek.
Yeah.
What did she play on Star Trek? I forget.
Well, the third season of the Orville had an episode with our friend Marina Sirtis. And
I
Mark
didn't.
and I
was on an episode with Marina.
Yeah. She played the teacher in one of the episodes. So.
Oh, it's one I haven't seen. I know Rob Lowe was on one.
Yeah. Yeah.
He played the blue alien that was having the affair with Seth MacFarlane's wife.
Yeah. With,
not Seth MacFarlane's wife, but the actor's
Kelly
wife.
Grayson, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was The third season has really had it come into its own, and
I don't have the streaming service that it is streaming on. So
oh, you don't have Disney?
It's not on Disney. It's on something else. When did it get on Disney?
It's very recent. The third season, Disney took it under its wing.
It was on Hulu.
Yeah, it was on Hulu, but Disney infused a lot of money into it, and it's
See, I don't understand a show like that being on Disney. Disney used to be for kids, and I'm sorry, but the Orville is not a kid show.
It's not a kid show. No, I agree. Well, there are a number of shows that are not children's shows. Disney.
The Lightyear thing.
Yeah.
Where they had the lesbian kiss.
Yeah.
I don't think they need to have any kiss.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I don't care if they have gay characters. That's fine. I don't like when they take a character who has an established behavior pattern and completely change the character. Even George Takei didn't like that they made Sulu gay because he said Sulu wasn't gay on the show. So he objected to that.
Right.
So, I mean, it's fine. They can have every character on the show be gay. That's fine. I don't care. But the thing that's different is the old Star Trek, they did not go in depth to, you had no idea on 90% of the characters whether they were gay or not because they didn't go into their backgrounds. Oh. It was just about the person. And I don't know. I mean, if it adds to the storyline, if it adds, but I don't see just arbitrarily.
Well, There needs to be a reason for any plot development. I
I
mean,
mean, I don't care.
I'll
What-
tell you one plot development I hated was that stupid water movie where the big cricket turned had an affair with a female character, and
Cricket?
yeah, it looked like a big, I don't know, some kind of water monster. And what was it called? I'll look it up and I'll talk about it next week. It was it's the only thing I probably have ever agreed with Ozzy Osbourne on. He was saying, "God, what an awful movie." I was like, "Yeah,
Ozzy
it won an
Osbourne.
Oscar."
Ozzy Osbourne is commenting about anything.
Yeah, I know. Well, they've taken him back to England. He's left the U.S. That's the way that goes.
They deported him?
No, he's just. I think he's just getting old and he wants to go home. It's
Makes sense.
understandable. So,
All right, well, we're winding up here, so
it's
we
that
got about
time, fans.
we got about
Thank
4 minutes. We're not ready to
Thank
sign
you.
off quite yet, but we got 4 minutes. So
Oh, okay. Well, then we best not do that. I just got a message from my son. Okay. And
okay, Jessica Wolf said that she saw an Austin Powers impersonator.
Yeah. The he's fine. He's alive and well. And he's a lot more than just an Austin Powers impersonator. He's an actor. So in fact, he played Agnew in something. So we were up to 4 viewers there and about 22 over on Twitch. So
hey,
we're getting there. It's
Twitch?
coming back.
What is Twitch?
Twitch is a live streaming thing you can put your feed into.
When I think of Twitch, I think of
Oh, somebody gave us a heart.
Twitch.
Yeah, no, not Twitch. But anyway, I was asked for a story about Jonathan Frid, and because of the passing of Anne, I got distracted. So forgive me, but Anne. We were all over at Jonathan's apartment, and he was preparing his one-man show. And Anne went into his bathroom. So I was checking it every once in a while because, and a couple of us were waiting for it. And Anne came out, and it became obvious that she had gone through his medicine cabinet. And, she was a very inquisitive person. And I just found that very odd, but interesting. And certainly nothing I would do, but, that was Anne. And Jonathan thought it was hilarious. So, I suppose she was concerned about his health or something. But Jonathan lived to be good solid 86, and Annie left us at 91. So on that note, Larry's doing better. I've had people ask about that. My brother is healthier than a horse, and he spent many years bicycling long distances that pretty much shored up his heart. And I'm doing okay. I still got creaks and the occasional pain, but I get through it. So
Well-
we'll see you next week. And we'll have a guest.
Oh, we do? Cool.
Yeah. So we will. That is on. I have to check back with her, but the hope is that we will have Chris Pinnock's widow, Lynn, to be with us to discuss what it was like living with the force of nature who was Christopher Pinnock. So you guys have a great week, and we're like 2 weeks to the big pumpkin day. So remember, the great pumpkin is coming.
Oh, and by the way, I have been unable to contact Steve Ross.
Oh, well,
He will not respond to any of my messages. So I don't know what's going on, if there's some technical problem or he's just too busy to talk or what is going on. But I'm going to keep after him and try to get him for Halloween.
Oh.
But we'll
do what we can. Yep.
all right. Let's go out with the music, and then I will turn everything off.
Go to it.
All right. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.